We really got to start diving into the hoops, both around the association and in college basketball. If you're keeping track at home, Donnie's best play, I believe, last Thursday in college hoops, St. Mary's laying 10.5, even laying a bad number. The Gales, great in doing so. No issue. Donnie, right side, is going to be ready to go, especially with his team totals in CBB. But how about the NBA? Totaling up the number of games we have tonight, I think we got 12 around the association. Good work. Good work right there by the NBA to recognize the fall from football in being there on the day after conference championship weekend. And Donnie, one of the best games of the night at the home of the reigning champs inside TD Garden. The Celtics 6.5-point favorite against the Houston Rockets. 222 is that total. Boston, second best record around the Eastern Conference. Houston, second best record in the Western Conference. A finals preview, again, I think is a little bit liberal with the use of that term, but what are we expecting tonight in Beantown?
I think we get a good game, and you see that 6.5 opened up here in New Jersey at FanDuel at that number and still sitting this morning at 6.5. Be interesting to see where that moves. The total itself, 221.5 as the opener, now up to 222. But if there's two ways you can look at this game. Houston is ready for prime time, or the Celtics understand the magnitude of this game. Like, come on now. You're actually looking at these guys as one of those contenders out in the West. Yeah. Let's show them what's up. We're at home on our home court. So theoretically, you say, you know what? I think this is going to be a Boston win by double digits. But for me, I look at that line and read it as that's a Houston Rockets line where I'm expecting them to come to town and say, you know what? We're going to shake it up here. Yeah, you won a championship, but let's announce our presence here by saying we're not afraid of you. We're not going to cower and lose by 15 points. We're going to play. Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green, Amin Thompson, Dylan Brooks, and Alperen Sengun are expected to be in the starting lineup tonight. I think they fight tonight, Ben. Give me the 6.5 for the upstart Houston Rockets in Boston to sort of have a measuring stick game for them. How about that?
The Houston Rockets have been great as a dog this year as well. 8-4-1 against the spread. 7 of those 8 covers and outright victories. So a 7-6 straight up record for the Rockets as a dog. Donnie, there is one team of 30 around the association that has a winning record above 500 outright as an underdog this season. It's Ime Udoka and it's Houston Rockets. They are 30-14 overall this year. Again, second best win percentage in the Western Conference. They have one fewer win than that of the Grizz, but also one fewer loss. So they're slightly in front of Memphis right now, who is 31-15. Of course, still looking up at OKC by 6.5 games. Boston 4.5 back of Cleveland. The Cavs used to have the best record in the association. Now that goes to Oklahoma City. But how many games did I just mention? 44, 45, 46 around the NBA. We're past the midway point. All-Star Weekend is, 3.5 weeks away in the association? We're really getting into the thick of it this NBA season. By the way, Boston, 32-14, 46 total games. Favorite in 44 of 46, 18-25-1 against the spread. Not overwhelming based on the expectation, but of course, still a great year. A game I was supposed to be at got postponed by a week. I'll see those Rockets more than likely next Monday inside Madison Square Garden, moving some scheduling things around. But the Knicks in a big one in MSG tonight, 3.5-point home favorite. 30 wins for the Knickerbockers now against that Grizz team that we mentioned, 31-15.
And look at that total, Ben. Opened up at 239.5. Now sits at 241.5 for a Knicks game. A Tom Thibodeau coach team at a 241.5. That is crazy at this point. And then you take a look at the 4.5, now down to 3.5 as the line. I do agree with that line movement. Memphis is really talented. I'll say that line, but out of principle, I just got to come on, Tibbs. Show up. Give me a Josh Hart 60-minute game. Let's play some defense.
Come on.
Keep it under 240 in that game. Come on now.
Those boys from Nova were talking yesterday about the Eagles back and forth, and Josh Hart was making fun of Jalen Brunson, who was making fun of him for leaving the game or the watch party early, wherever they were. And Josh Hart said, one of us has to play defense tomorrow night back at home in the Garden against the Grizz. So, yeah, keep an eye on that deep. 240? For Tom Thibodeau? For Tibbs?
241.5.
No, can't believe it. Won't believe it. Not a part of it. Suns underdog at home against the Clippers. Is Jimmy Butler there yet in Phoenix?
By the way, no, but it looks like the anticipated starting lineup does actually have Beal back in there. Were they showcasing Bradley Beal now to the rest of the NBA back in the starting lineup with the big three? My goodness.
I mean, talk about a sign of the times. The Cavaliers at home, double-digit favorite against the Detroit Pistons. If the season ended today, Detroit's in the playoffs. 23-22, a game above 500. JB Biggerstaff is now the head coach of the Motor City, if I'm not mistaken. T-Wolves at home, double-digit favorite against the Atlanta Hawks. Is Jimmy Butler back for Miami? 2-game suspension over? Freeze-up? Sunshine State battle?
I don't know if they let to see that guy back on the court again at this point now. But I got two words for you tonight, Ben. You want those 2 words?
Please.
You want the 2 words? Now, Joe Lisi is 1 word. You get that? Could be Joe Lisi, 2 words. 2 words tonight. Norm Powell. Norm Powell. Just remember that. 2 words tonight. Yeah.
How many times have you bet on Norm Powell this year? Is he your most frequent bet
lets you down
in the association
Never
this
lets
season?
you down. Yeah, and also, by the way, you're seeing it, but like Kawhi Leonard's supposed to be in that starting lineup with James Harden, so that means the attention goes to those 2 guys. Norm Powell with another 3-point shot made. That's what we're hearing tonight in Phoenix.
How bad are things for the Washington Wizards, the NBA's worst team this year? They're a 12-point dog in Dallas, and I don't see Luka Doncic listed. The Wiz are 6-38. They're the only team yet to reach double-digit wins around the association. I think they have been an underdog in every game this year. They are 17-25-2 against the spread. What is Norm Powell's number? Do you know, or are you just going to bet it regardless of what it is?
I'm just going to, exactly. I'm assuming it's going to be around that 2.5 number. So 3 or 3-point shots, 3 more shots made. Bang it down.
Yeah.
Let's go. 3 spots.
3+ made threes for Norm Powell, Donnie's guy, -145. I think that's Norman Powell's celebration. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. We'll make it a celebration, that's for sure.
Listen,
One of those.
I'll miss you. Have fun on the money line.
Yep.
Are we working together tomorrow?
Could be. Basketball.
Oh, my goodness. See you then, brother. B-ball next.